At least 9 that we know about. And I'm not speculating because he told this to me himself.
God has a funny way of showing you lessons.
Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
I just need you to know that I see you and I'm proud of you. I need you to remember that you royal and we proud.
Barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. Checks and Balances is out. You guys see this website at the bottom of the screen. Go check it out. 9 Wives is out too. You guys saw that. So both of those in the preview. But I want to talk about something that I know people don't want to talk about the shit because they don't want to piss Danny Garcia off. But I'm going to say this. I really like the Garcias, like for real. No BS. And I'm only prefacing this because of my tone and delivery. It's pretty straightforward and cut to the chase. And this has no bearings on my respect for his father and his son. This is just strictly boxing. Okay? Because I know y'all boxers and y'all fans get all sensitive and y'all emotions like, yeah. So anyways, Danny Garcia was a great 140-pounder. Danny Garcia was a mediocre 147-pounder. Danny Garcia is unknown at 154, but let's talk about the specs. You go from 8. He didn't knock anybody out of mention. He knocked out Brandon Rios and the kid from Chicago. Forgive me for forgetting his name, but a pretty durable guy. Sean faced him. He faced him. You know, Robert Garcia faced him, I believe. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but out of respect for him, can y'all put it in the comment section? And he also, but against heavy competition, he never got knocked down. Now, Danny Garcia has never been knocked down either, and that speaks to what's widely overlooked in Danny, and that is his defensive prowess, you know. And his defensive prowess is he's whenever you're a counter puncher, you always have keys on defense, you know. But moving forward, Danny Garcia said he was depressed for the Errol Spence fight. Well, he didn't get mentally healed because Errol Spence basically beat the boxing career out of Danny Garcia. And how I know that? Because through yourself, you know others. And I've literally climbed a ladder of success. I've literally climbed a ladder of being happy in my home, being happy with Dre, being happy with the kids, being happy as a father, everything, a mogul, you know what I mean? Whatever the case may be, being Dre's best friend, you know, the whole shebang. And you see how this elevates and elevates and elevates. Danny Garcia is at that space in his life. Boxing is the only place where he can get a big lump sum of money at one time. And you fall in love with that. You understand what I'm saying? So that will, so when you say, why is he fighting? Because where else can he get $2 million in one night? You understand? His property is slow and grow like mine. It grows. You collect rents. You build. You pull out the equity. You invest. Danny is great at that, from what I see through YouTube, and I know he has great relationship with the Watsons. I really love that family, like the Danny Garcia family. I mean, the Garcia family. Shout out to his father, keeping the family together through his cancer and jail. It needs to be, PBC needs to do a special on him with the video footage and the pictures. Don't just say it. You need to tell Angel Garcia's story, because it sounds like it can reach a lot of young men, a lot of Puerto Rican men, and make them not only boxing fans, but make them fans of life, fans of hope, fans of reality, fans of believing in their purpose, you know. And so I say this. He wasn't good at 47. He lost to the major players. In the major players, he lost much of the rounds. He lost at least 7 to Sean, 7 to, so he did what he was supposed to do, and he even lost some rounds against Brandon Rios. You understand? So with that being said, Earl literally beating the life out of him. It looked like it on paper. No fighter has ever been the same versus Errol Spence. So Danny Garcia is in a fight for his life tonight. And what makes this so beautiful and so poetic, Jose Benavidez is fighting for his life as well. He doesn't have the durability. With the mobility. He doesn't have the mobility. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have the mobility that he once had because he was shot in the leg. He had surgery on his hand, so he doesn't possess the power. Danny's biggest weakness, second biggest weakness, is his opponent's will. Danny Garcia struggles when a person wants to impose his will. Two case in point: Sean Porter, Earl Spence. Sean Porter didn't really impose his will as much as created energy, created some inertia in the ring that kind of bewildered Danny Garcia a little bit, enough to squeak out those rounds. And Earl Spence just basically pulverized him with the jab and velocity. And Danny did land a counter left hook on Earl, and that's when Earl did this and said, "No, like, he's back. I'm Superman for real." And so I say all of this to say this. I know Danny Garcia has been one of our favorite fighters over the years. He's not that anymore. Danny Garcia has been great for boxing. He always talks about his wife. His daughter's always on his lap. I respect that about Danny Garcia. His sisters are rather successful. So he has done great with boxing. But I have Danny Garcia on upset alert. Here's what's going to happen. Danny Garcia is going to win by robbery, or he's going to lose. And you have to say that because Barclay is in play, money is in play. Danny Garcia versus Jermell Charlo is a big fight, and that's the fight ultimately I think Al Heyman wants for Danny Garcia at Barclay. And that's basically his send-off fight because what's the point of fighting after Jermell Charlo but for a lump sum of cash outside of legacy? You get what I'm saying? So I definitely can anticipate this time next year, Jermell Charlo versus Danny Garcia at the Barclays Center once, assuming Jermell gets past his mandatory. And then Jermell moves up. Earl Spence takes over 54. Jerron Ennis takes over 47. And then the conversation starts with Earl Spence versus Jerron Ennis, like in reality, not like, oh, let's hope this fight happens. But 2024, 2025, those conversations. I have Earl Spence beating Terrence Crawford. I have Jerron Ennis looking great at 147 with that crop of 147 pounders. And then part two, what's not being spoke about. Adam Kalnaki's on upset alert too. I got Adam Kalnaki losing this fight. Let's see how Frederick does tonight. I have Russell, Ali, Benavidez. That's my thing. And shout out to the subscriber that sent me this. What's being overlooked is Adam, what's his name? Vito Manicki. He's headlining YouTube. He's not headlining his own fight anymore. So that shows you how that was that grossly failed financially, because if it was a success financially, he would have went back to New Jersey for another fight. So but they still want to build his base and they need to sell tickets. So they hoping those 2,000 people from New Jersey come and guess what? It's an easy trip for them. It's easier. Let me tell you guys something for real. It is easier to get from New Jersey to the Barclays Center than it is to get from Queens to the Barclays Center. It's weird. You guys may not understand it. Or I should say it's as easy, because some fans are, I know it's not. I'm being dead ass honest. It's easier and it's quicker to get from New Jersey to Barclay, and it's all public transportation underground, underwater and underground. You don't come up until you walk up those stairs at Barclay. I know because I know New York transportation. Then it is to go from, rest in peace, Xavier Porter. I love that man, from Harlem, catching the number two. The number two comes right up. You catch one train from Harlem. It's easier to get from Harlem than it is to get from any other place. You got to change and you got to figure out. It's summertime. It's 86 degrees down there, 96 degrees. Humidity's high in those train stations. If you don't know, you don't know. If you know, you fucking know. You know what I'm saying? So those 2,000 fans should come up on public transportation. I think the last train leaves around 11:50, 11:45, somewhere in there. So they'll be able Hopefully they're able to catch that motherfucking train right back when they're from Penn Station. If you know, man. Because for me, that's how I come into New York when I land in Newark Airport. I go from Newark, it's like $15. I catch the train, it goes underwater, and then I'm at Penn Station, and I figure out what my next move is. So I said all this to say that's my bracket for this week. I mean, for these fights. And I'm just gonna throw $25 on it. I'm gonna parlay Kaunowski and Benavidez, and I'm gonna bet them single for nothing big, because the odds are extraordinary. David Benavidez is 5-1. The other guy is like 9-1 or some crazy shit like that. So I'm gonna do that. So if I bet 100, I win 900. If I bet 100 on Benavidez, I win 500. It's gonna be a slugfest. And I think Danny's biggest Achilles heel will be those 2 ounces in the gloves. You say, what are you talking about, Fred? Punching power. He never knocked down anybody at 147 of mention. How's he gonna knock out a durable 154-pound guy that's grooving back, that's getting back his confidence? But more importantly, the Benavidez will. The Benavidez family has a will about them. And I'm gonna tell you one thing: if Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford don't happen this year, Jose Benavidez Sr. got a chance to squeak out Trainer of the Year. You got Rayo, you got Jose, and you got David. All Jose has to do is go 12 rounds with Danny Garcia in a competitive fight, or even get knocked out in a competitive fight. That still puts Jose up there. If Jose upsets Danny Garcia, I love Derek James, but Jermell Charlo's not fighting again this year. If Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford fight don't happen, throw away the pro-blackness, throw away the pro-Mexicanness. I know we got that shit in boxing. I was once a part of that shit. I get it. Jose Benavidez Sr., Trainer of the Year. Yeah. So if he wins and David Benavidez comes back in December and fights a credible opponent, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for Jose Benavidez not to get that. You understand what I'm saying? Out of respect, obviously, I like them both. I like Derek James, as you guys know. I don't talk to him much anymore, but I'm a fan of Derek James. I respect his Zen-like, Phil Jackson-like approach. You know what I mean? Speaking of family, there's Dre. Let's answer this live. See what Dre got to say to me.
Hey.
Who is this?
What?
Oh, this Lincoln. Lincoln, I'm doing a video right now. Don't say anything crazy, okay? I love you, though.
Remember to feed that Norman.
I fed him already.
Okay.
All right. Love you, dude. I'll call you back.
Okay.
All right, I'll call you.
Remember to feed him tonight.
I'll feed him. I got you.
If you don't, we'll call you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to talk to you anyway. I got to talk to you before you go to sleep anyway. Right? We got to do our bedtime routine.
Okay.
All right. Love you, dude. Have fun at Disneyland. Love you, dude.
Okay.
All right. Peace.
Love you.
Yep.
Bye.
That's like they have a pet. They have a pet. Goldfish. For those of you who don't know, here's what I did. Nah, I can't tell it on this because this is permanent. I can't do that. But anyways, so yeah, man, that's where I'm at with this. And so I have them on upset alert. I forgot where it was. Derek James. So I have that. And that's basically where I'm at with this, man. Hopefully you guys enjoy the fight. It's a good card. PBC has a good card. You know what I mean? It is a good, durable card. It ain't no, I'm calling all my friends and I'm having a fight party card. It's a Saturday night, USC versus Washington. You know what I mean? If you were Pac-12 guy, I know they're leaving for the Big Ten, but it's like Indiana versus Michigan kind of Saturday night fight. You know what I mean? The Lakers versus a Denver kind of night. You know what I mean? Kind of like that. You know, you just enjoy it. You know what I mean? You eat your regular dinner, and if you got a couple friends, y'all normally get together. You know what I mean? Y'all just delay y'all Saturday night plans. You don't change your plans to watch this fight, you know. But anyways, I'm going over my business partners. I'm actually leaving right now. It's 3:20, so I'm about to hit the road literally as soon as I get done with this video. So barbershop conversations. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And yeah, man. So I have Gary Russell, Adam Kaunaki losing to Ali, and I have Jose Benavidez upsetting Danny Garcia in a high connect rate fight. You know what I mean? A lot of power punches. Jose Benavidez is going to get hit. Does he have the will? But he has a high guard. But Danny Garcia could go to the body. We'll see. Jose Benavidez is a will-powered fighter. So I'm going to see how powerful his will. His will, if he's 100 committed to his heart and will, and he could bring out everything that he's ever done in boxing. I know he quite possibly lost his last fight. He probably won about 4 rounds, 5 rounds. It was a draw. You know, you could have went either way, kind of more leaning more towards Torres. I understand that. But Danny Garcia is a counterpuncher. You got to push a button, and Danny Garcia shoots. You know, I've seen 30 Danny Garcia fights. So that's where I'm at. That's where I stand. Barbershop conversations. See y'all tomorrow night in the barbershop. Should be fun. Should be exciting. We're going to rock out and have a great time tomorrow night. Talk to you guys soon. Peace, guys.